Marvel Rivals is objectively a trash game. At least that's the conclusion a few individuals, like my brother, have arrived at. And unfortunately, they might be onto something. You see, there's a specific reason people dislike this game. A reason that even I, a self-proclaimed master of debate, couldn't argue against. Now, normally, I wouldn't care. Millions of people dislike games all the time. It doesn't mean anything serious. But this time, it does. You see, my brother lives far away, so we only hang out when we play games. So if my brother quits Marvel Rivals, I won't get to see him anymore. But I won't let that happen. I will change my brother's mind about Marvel Rivals, no matter what. But to do that, I need to understand his perspective. I need to break down exactly why he hates the game. And surprisingly, I wouldn't find my answer in Marvel Rivals. No, I had to go back to 2023, back when my brother and I were playing a game that would transform the world.
Valorant. We're talking about Valorant.
On the surface, Marvel Rivals and Valorant seem similar. Both are competitive hero-based shooters with unique characters and team-oriented gameplay. But there's one key difference that changes everything, and yet no one talks about it. Strategy.
Actually, Marvel Rivals has strategy too.
Yeah, I know, but there's a clear difference between the two, and I'm about to break it down. I call this difference active versus reactive strategy. In Valorant, strategy starts before the match even begins. You're thinking ahead, deciding where to plant the bomb, which side of the map to push for control, or whether to go for early kills and gain map dominance. This kind of planning and decision making before the enemy even reacts, that's active strategy. But Marvel Rival flips that on its head. It's all about reacting in the moment. Is the enemy too grouped up? Pick Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight and take advantage of crowd control. Can't kill their healers? Switch to Psylocke and flank them. Every move you make is a response to the enemy's behavior, forcing you to adapt constantly. This, my friends, is passive strategy. And here's why that sucks. Reacting isn't just mentally taxing. It's unpredictable. You can't plan or anticipate your moves because the game forces you to respond to the constant threat of the enemy. Instead of controlling the flow, you're always playing catch up. That feeling of helplessness, never knowing if your next move will even work, is what really makes it frustrating. Now, don't get me wrong, Valorant has its share of passive strategy too, but for Marvel Rivals, the problem runs deeper than just strategy, because Marvel Rivals is designed to be frustrating.
Oh my god!
Take a look at this. Did you catch the problem? Now compare that to Valorant.
You're dead.
What? Where's my ult? Where's my ult bullet going?
See the difference? In Valorant, players just suck. They take bad fights, overextend, or just fail to hit their shots. But in Marvel Rivals, the frustration isn't always from your own mistakes. It's from someone else's success. You're about to secure a kill, healer saves them at the last second. You switch to attacking that healer, they run away, leaving you powerless. The game isn't just difficult, it's disempowering. So I jumped into Discord with my brother to see what he thought, and what he said changed everything.
Ok, man, entonces, ¿como qué opinas de lo que te mandé?
Pues está 2-3. Ahí va, pero todavía no le das al clavo en la cabeza.
I had almost cracked the code, but almost is not enough. So I sat there, staring at the wall, trying to pinpoint what made Marvel Rivals so uniquely frustrating. And that's when I realized there are things that make a game frustrating that aren't even part of its design. Things like hacking. Valorant isn't hacker-free, but even when it comes to handling hackers, it's miles ahead of Marvel Rivals. For one, I encountered far fewer hackers, but even when I do run into them, the match is cancelled, points are refunded, and everyone moves on with their day. Clean, simple, done. But in Marvel Rivals, you can spot a hacker from the start of a match, play through the entire game, lose, and only afterward get a message saying, "Oh hey, that hacker? Yeah, we banned them. No points refunded, no compensation, just wasted time." And honestly, why couldn't Marvel Rivals just be more like Valorant? What? Valorant's anti-cheat does what? Okay, forget everything I just said. Allegedly, Valorant's anti-cheat is so effective because they basically hack your computer to stop the hackers from cheating in the first place.
Is that still the case?
Yes.
Waste of my damn time.
And speaking of wasted time, let's talk about toxic teammates. I'm sure you've had your fair share, but trust me, Marvel Rivals has players do something I had never experienced before. Teammates come in all forms: helpful, carried, and of course, toxic. Now, this might seem like a small thing, but my brother and I noticed something interesting. Marvel Rivals toxicity, it hits different. Maybe it's because we play on Spanish-speaking servers, where even toxic teammates can be kind of hilarious. But on English servers, they're just annoying.
0 kills, dog. Are you?
Bro, it is literally just a beta. Relax yourselves.
You're just a beta, bro. Fuck out of here,
Damn.
you beta ass.
Damn, you're so mad.
Now, don't get me wrong, Valorant has its toxic moments too, but the difference is, despite the toxic players, people still enjoy the game. Why? Because there's more powerful things than frustration. Things like highs. Valorant could definitely be frustrating at times, but it had those holy shit moments that made it all worth it. A crazy 1v5 clutch, an insane flick shot that made you feel like you're hacking. Hacking? See what I did there? Alright, those moments kept you coming back for more, no matter how many times you got crushed. But Marvel Rivals, even when you wipe the entire enemy team, it doesn't feel the same. Sure, you're winning, but it's more of a quiet victory, a check on the scoreboard, rather than a rush of adrenaline. It's not that euphoric moment that Valorant gives you. The only time Marvel Rivals even comes close to that high is at the last second, when you're securing an objective. But even then, it's a fleeting feeling, quickly replaced by the next frustrating moment. And that's the key difference. Valorant players are like junkies, chasing that next dopamine rush. Every clutch, every perfect flick shot kept you addicted to the game. In other words, the highs just aren't high enough in Marvel Rivals. But everything I've mentioned so far, the strategy, the frustration, the hackers, it all leads to one fundamental issue. The reason Marvel Rivals is objectively trash is Andres. Who the fuck is Andres? Well, according to my brother, he's the worst player in the world. According to me, he's my best friend. He's actually been in a few of my videos. Hello, baby boo. Whenever we play with him, we always lose rank. But here's the thing, Andres isn't the real problem. He's just a symptom of it. Because the real issue with Marvel Rivals, the thing that makes it so frustrating, is agency. At the end of the day, all games give you some degree of agency, the ability to make choices, to control your fate. But in Marvel Rivals, every aspect of the game seems designed to strip that away. Whether it's the constant frustration of reacting instead of planning, the feeling of powerlessness against healers, or the toxic teammates that seem to show up just to make things worse, it all adds up. When you take away a player's agency, when everything feels out of their control, you're left with an experience that's less about skill and more about waiting for something to break in your favor. And honestly, when it gets to that point, it might as well be Monopoly. And I hate Monopoly. Oh, I see it now. I get where my brother's coming from. Marvel Rivals does suck. But after spending all this time researching, one question still lingered on my mind. Will my brother continue to play Marvel Rivals?
Ok, man. Ya acabé todo mi report. ¿Qué opinión te merece?
Pues tu reporte está bastante acertado, pero pues Marvel Rivals sigue siendo una cagada y chupa. Y pues, ni modo, aún así vamos a tener que jugar, porque somos familia.
I don't have friends, I got family.
If you want to see how Marvel Rivals sucks in real time, click the video above. And in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.